Hi, this is Dr. Stephen with Outclick Magazine. Today we're excited to bring to you Joseph Cox, the President and CEO of the Museum of Discovery and Science, also known as MODS. Joe, you're a great friend and a great leader, and I'm going to use this word how appropriate for the museum, innovative. Welcome to today's program.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. The museum has always been a great staple here in Fort Lauderdale, but you have taken it to so many great new levels and have really expanded the programs, the offerings, the outreach in just so many wonderful ways. So congratulations on your work, and congratulations on all of your efforts in this past year and challenges. Tell us about your exciting news for the Museum of Discovery and Science.
So much going on, and thank you. It's been wonderful and fascinating 3 years that I've been here at MODS now, particularly with the last year being as challenging as it has. But no, we are reopened. We are thrilled to bits to be reopened. The museum's doors are once again being graced with tons of great visitors. And, I think it shows so much how excited people are to be back as people are walking in and we're thanking them for coming back to the museum and coming back to see us. We're just being thanked over and over and over by parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles who are just so excited to have this great resource back and be able to bring their children and back to the museum. And we're seeing a lot of tourists as well. So people are definitely excited to be in Fort Lauderdale.
Congratulations. We know it's been a tough year for all of our arts, entertainment partners. When people hear the word museum, they think of someplace quiet that they go and look at exhibitions. MODS is not a quiet museum. It is a museum of, there's a lot of, I'll just say it, noise, but it's good noise because there's lots and lots of kids. There's lots of interactions. There's lots of energy. It's a different kind of museum, Joe, because there's just so much going on, so much great energy. Tell people about what is going on and what are the happenings and events. We're going to get into some specifics, but maybe somebody who's not heard of MODS, tell them what that is, Joe.
Sure. So, that noise you described, Stephen, I like to call it the happy hum of learning. It's, kids are just wowing and, just shocked with everything that's going on. So if you've not been to the museum before, we are a 150,000 square foot science museum in downtown Fort Lauderdale. We're right next door to the Broward Center, and we're all about immersive learning. So when you come through the museum, you're going to see everything from immersive maker space to a giant life-size megalodon, which is a prehistoric shark that lived here in Florida. You might crawl through the Everglades. You might build your own spaceship, get into a flight simulator, or even board a spaceship and go to Mars. So it's all about immersive learning. We focus on physical science, early childhood education. We do health and wellness, and we really focus on environmental sustainability as well. So it's a full day out, tons going on, and just a really great way to re-engage. And what we're hearing from a lot of people too, children have been, in many cases, home alone or with their siblings or with their small pod for months. And, I know there's so much we can talk about, but one of the things that we're really going to be addressing at the museum is this issue of COVID slide. Educational achievement is not where it needs to be with students. And so how can we help support families, help support their kids in their learning?
There is so much to do. There is so much fun. And like I said, you've got the big clock as you go in. There's also something for everyone. There's a little known fact, or a big known fact, is your Imax Theater. If people have not been to the Imax, it is the huge screen and the surround sound, maybe surround sound may not be the right word, but the sound that's amazing there. Tell us about the Imax Theater, Joe. We've got a couple of great shows. One was Ancient Caves. We'll talk about that, but tell us about the Imax, Joe.
Yeah, so our AutoNation Imax Theater, really, there are not enough superlatives to describe it. Firstly, it's 60 foot wide, 80 feet tall. You know, when you see a dinosaur on screen, it's bigger than life size. You know, it really is just the most spectacular screen. We are the only giant screen certified screen in South Florida. We are one of only 4 IMAX theaters in the entire country that has both 1570 millimeter film projection and IMAX with laser. You know, what that means is that when you come in and see a movie here, whether it's a documentary film or a Hollywood movie, the sound is louder, the screen is bigger, the blacks are darker, the colors are brighter. I mean, it really is absolutely spectacular. And the popcorn tastes pretty spectacular as well. So it's a great screen. And I know we've discussed this. You really realize that once you see a movie here, you don't want to see a movie anywhere else.
The image quality, I mean, it's not only the size of it, the image quality, the clarity of it. There, you've got one called Into America's Wild. Arthur, who always helps me in the background. Tell us about this show. This is amazing. I want to talk about the other one too. Tell us about this one that's playing, if you can.
So we've been really excited about opening Into America's Wild. McGillivray Freeman, who produced this, Greg McGillivray, who's the director, one of the absolute best in the field. They just produce spectacular content. And the timing on Into America's Wild really couldn't be more perfect. It's a celebration of the great places in the wild in North America, whether it's the Appalachian Trail, whether it's the lush forests in Oregon. It takes you coast to coast, north and south, getting out there, exploring, taking a train, a hot air balloon, a kayak, and really just going out. And I think we've all been locked up and locked down for so long. I know everyone is just itching to get out there, explore. I've not been on a plane in a year. And this will give you a taste of, you know, where might you want to go and explore next. So we're really excited. March 26th through 28th, we're going to be having an Into America's Wild Festival here at the museum, bringing in some great community partners from parks, from other nonprofit organizations to help get people reacquainted with exploring the wild.
Well, I want to go on the hot air balloon. So I at least want to go through that slide. We saw Ancient Caves. That was part of the film festival. I tell people when you go see that movie, make sure you take a towel because it's going to feel like the water's hitting you in the face. And at one point when the water level rises, you hold your breath. It is such an amazing movie. We did an interview with the filmmakers. It was an honor to stand there at the museum and talk about how they captured the video of that and swam underwater. And just how they captured the video. It was fascinating. And the limitations of what all they went through and how they got trapped in ancient caves. Another must see there at the movie. And again, it's so large and so crisp and clear, Ancient Caves.
Yeah, Ancient Caves really was something quite spectacular. Jonathan Bird, the director, absolutely deserved the Intrepid Award that they won at the Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival. You know, it literally takes you places you would never go. And, you know, so many times if you see a movie, you're like, oh, well, I might go to the Galapagos or I might go to, you know, the Great Barrier Reef. I guarantee you, I am probably never diving for 3 hours, miles deep, through these tiny holes in black caves to see this spectacular cavern of stalactites and stalagmites. Not going, not going to do it. Not my cup of tea. But someone has been there. And because of him, we can now relive it. And as you say, hold your breath, because it is
Spectacular.
spectacular. It really is. And when that scene, when they get stuck, and that was not them just, hamming it up for the movie. They were stuck. And you can see there's a moment where you see up close, you see the look on their eyes, and they were really stuck. And keep in mind, they're diving for hours carrying IMAX equipment.
And very expensive IMAX equipment, I might add to that. And I think you made a great point. That's someplace I would never go and never have the nerve to go. And they take you to that place because I'm not a swimmer and I don't like closed spaces. And they take you to a place I would never experience in person. And that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Tell us about, you've got another great program initiative called the STEM Mobile Program. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I'll get it all out. I used to be a math teacher, so I'm very interested in this program. If you want to tell us about that, Joe, as well.
No, I'd love to. Thank you, Stephen. This program came about really at just the perfect time. The Mod STEM Mobile is a wonderful new initiative that we launched with support of the Frederick A. DeLuca Foundation and a number of other partners, including Citrix. The STEM Mobile came about because we recognized we want to be out in the community. We want to be able to go to schools, libraries, community centers, festivals. And the DeLuca Foundation funded this just at the beginning of the pandemic. So this really was an opportunity for us to use that, dreaded P word, pivot, very, very quickly. And we have now looked at how can we be out in the community, delivering programs outdoors, in school playgrounds, in library parking lots, and bring STEM to programs and to places that, schools aren't able to visit us right now. Public schools aren't able to go on physical field trips. But we know, 25% of children in Broward County public schools have not made adequate academic progress in their education this year. We know that COVID slide, which is the impact of COVID on learning, is a major, major problem. So how can we support what's happening in the school system with this program?
There is already and has been a shortage of math and science teachers in the secondary education, obviously in post-secondary. There's been a huge shortage in those areas. This kind of stimulation to get kids interested in learning in science and mathematics. Obviously, engineering is another field that we're seeing a lack of, that pipeline in that source. And so this is a great way to get kids interested in that. They can get on your website. They can book those kinds of services for the STEM Mobile. This seems like a lot of fun. I want to go. Can we book it for can we book it for my backyard, Joe?
You can book it for your backyard. One of the great things about the program and our partnerships. So thanks to partners like Citrix, we actually are able to take the STEM Mobile to Title I schools at no cost. And so we really believe strongly that just because schools may not have the funding for STEM education, that doesn't mean that the children in the schools shouldn't have access to those STEM programming. So we're committed to going out to schools, to libraries, to community centers. And so we're always looking for new partners to help extend that program even further. But if someone wants to book this and have a really great birthday party in their backyard, we'll show up with tents, with things that you can build, blow up, explode, make fly robots, and it's just a great, great program.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I'll be out driving the STEM Mobile one day. You'll see me out there driving it. It sounds like such a fun initiative. Another one I tell you, Joe, I'm very excited about and happy to see is the Wise Bodies program that you all have partnered with AHF. I will say publicly, AHF does phenomenal work. My latest experience with them was absolutely phenomenal. I helped someone with care. They are a well-oiled machine. What the levels of care that they provide, and so I'm thrilled that you all are partnering with them on this educational opportunity and initiative. If you'll tell us about the Wise Bodies program, Joe.
No, I'd be happy to. AHF, as you say, have just been such a wonderful, wonderful partner. We first started working with AHF to bring the Wise Bodies program to Broward County Public Schools 2 years ago. And this was a live production. We would go to a school, we would do a stage show. And, the reason we developed the program initially was, it's needed so desperately. The HIV/AIDS pandemic has certainly impacted South Florida disproportionately, and that's reflected in the rates of infection in Broward County Public Schools. And so we really wanted to create this program that spreads knowledge and neutralizes stigma around HIV/AIDS, that really showcases the science, showcase the science behind the HIV/AIDS epidemic, behind STIs, and give students, as young as middle school, really an opportunity to understand how to protect themselves and what HIV/AIDS really mean today. It also gives us an opportunity to talk about STEM careers. So when the pandemic hit, the COVID pandemic hit, and the world locked down, we recognized we still wanted to deliver the program. So we made the program virtual, like so much else. And we are now launching the program virtually. We've created a dozen videos, which are available on our website, but also on Broward County Public Schools and Palm Beach County Schools on their virtual learning platforms, so that it's accessible to as many students as possible. So we really would encourage people to look at this content. The questions, we had some town halls with teens where we brought them in to have a conversation. And the lack of awareness is just shocking.
Uh-huh. You've got an educator's guide. I'm going to have Arthur go back to the website if you could. You've got educator's guide for, it looks like, middle school and secondary educators, which I think is so important because having been a high school teacher myself, there was no place of it. I'm a little older, but there was no place in the curriculum for this. I don't know in the K through 12 curriculum that this is already in the curriculum anywhere, that teachers have this as part of their curriculum or any place right now. And this gives them that curriculum, that gives them the videos, by the way, are very well done. The way it walks through, it's very easy to understand. The guide is very good. It gives them a very hands-on curriculum. It's not in the K through 12 system. I don't think anywhere it's in post-secondary as well. And I have a lot of ideas of where this could be put in. It's a great facilitator for conversation and get people educated on prevention and treatment and care as a great initiative, and really to get it in the hands of group facilitators or educators in lots and lots of ways.
No, I think our goal here is to, as you say, get it into as many educators' hands as possible and really give them a platform to get the story across, to answer the questions, because we know for many teachers, it's a really difficult subject to address. And for many students, this is really something that you may not want to ask about in class. You may not want to ask your teacher about. So with the videos, you can go through them at your own pace. And we've had great response to the videos already. I think we've had over 25,000 views of the videos and counting. And so people are certainly interested and really appreciate your support in getting the word out.
It's not an easy topic to come up with curriculum yourself. And the way this curriculum is presented, it destigmatizes the topic, and it really makes it easy in a way for educators to bring the topic up and to create that way for the discussion. So they're very well done. So thank you for presenting those, and for AHF for doing those. Arthur's going to put up the website for people who want to see if they want to have that curriculum available. We talked to so many of our partners who said the COVID pandemic put the HIV crisis on the back burner a little bit. So it's time to bring it back to the forefront. Your website is mods.org. Is there anything else you want to say about the Wise Body Show before I cut you off on that?
No, I think, again, AHF have just been such a wonderful partner, as has Broward County Public Schools. We've been working very closely with Broward County Schools to provide this to their students, to their teachers. They've been wonderful partners in getting it out to the community. And our staff really outdid themselves on creating new content, as you said, a curriculum which is really engaging. And there's everything in here from history to art to the science to debate. Broward County Public Schools has an incredible debate program. So we built in a whole debate topic to encourage conversation.
It's something parents can watch with their children or teenagers. And it's something teenagers could sit down with their parents and watch and initiate the conversation. It's really a multi-generational content. The website is also mods. Arthur's got it there for us. mods.org/wisebodies. I love the title as well. Thank you for presenting this. Joe, is there anything else you wanted to cover that we didn't ask? And again, one of the things about mods, there's something for everyone. There's the Imax. During non-COVID, you have the mixers. So those are coming maybe down the pike when we can kind of get things open again. You just got the doors open, so those are maybe coming down the pike. There's the exhibitions you see. How many school children do you normally see during pre-COVID? Do you have that number off the top of your head?
I do. So in a typical year, we see about 90,000 school children every year, about 400,000 visitors. As you mentioned, we have our events coming back, things like Discovery After Dark, which was always a fun event. Typically this time of year, we would be gearing up for our Bank of America Wine, Spirits, and Culinary Celebration. For the second year in a row now, we haven't been able to present that event. So that's one of our big fundraisers for the year. All of the things that we do at the museum as a 501c3, we are a nonprofit organization. We do depend very heavily on the support of the community. And I just want to say thank you, because we've had such great support getting through the pandemic. It really takes partners like yourself to support what we do. And I know so many people watching have been supporters of the museum as well. If you would like to join and become a member, visit us anytime you want. See some of the great programs, exhibits. A membership is just a great way to provide ongoing support to the museum. And hey, once you get to travel again, you can flash that membership card at so many other museums around the country and get in for free or for a discount. So love to see more membership cards flying out the door and into people's pockets.
Very good. There are a million opportunities there at the museum. One of the things we have loved about the partnership that we have is there's always something to do. It's a fun place. And like I said, it's not a museum you're going to go and sit quietly. You're going to hear a lot of fun noise going on. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your dynamic leadership that you have brought to the museum. You're such a joy to work with. And as I've told so many leaders, when you joined as a leader, you didn't sign up for what last year tossed on your plate, but we have all endured and done so, and we will come out winners and champions this year in 2021. Again, it's mods.org. If Arthur can put up your other websites as well. Your social media as at Mods FTL, your Facebook, Instagram, as I said, Toucans on a String, or Carrier Pigeon, or however else they want to get in touch with you. And your YouTube, you all have done a phenomenal job with your YouTube. Joe, is there anything else you want to add or cover at this point?
Just thank you so much, Stephen. This really is a community institution, and we're just thrilled to be serving the entire community. Follow along. Social media is great, of course, and we have, I promise, lots of fun things coming down the pipeline. We'll be bringing back our Pride event this June, so keep an eye out for that. Our virtual programs, as you say, if people aren't ready to be out yet, then you can still get involved in so many of our virtual offerings.
Yes. Well, again, congratulations on being open. We're excited for you and excited for the staff, and mostly excited for the children that you will impact. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to more of what's to come. Stay safe and stay encouraged. Have a good evening.